Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Sinead and this is Lunar Beauty. Today we are doing another edition of my monthly beauty faves and fails. This month we are doing the month of September 2020. I have got several products that I want to talk about. I've actually been testing out some products. I wanted to make sure that I really did love them before I talked about them in this video. But we're going to go ahead and get started with face products. The first thing that we're going to be talking about, this is from AOA. This is the A+ No Pore Face Primer and the A+ Matte Setting Spray. The first time that I used these was in my last Shop Miss A video, and upon first impressions, I really like them, but I wanted to test them out throughout the month with other foundations to see if I'm getting consistent results, and guys, I have to tell you, I did. I used this primer with almost every single foundation that I currently owned, and I got pretty consistent results across the board. The primer itself feels kind of silicone-y, but once you put it on and you let it set down, it does not have like a slick, smooth feel to it. It actually sets down very nice to kind of a semi-matte formula or semi-matte finish. Blurs the pores, looks very nice on the skin. It just makes your overall appearance of your skin look really nice even before you put the foundation on. Every foundation that I used blended and glided just beautifully over the foundation, set down so nice to this very soft, matte, very blurred look to the skin. All of my foundations gave me consistent results over this particular primer. Even two of my most least favorite foundations, the Smashbox Studio Finish Primer and the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Foundation, even those performed well over this primer. With the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Foundation, it did not seem to matter what I did. It didn't matter the primer, the powder, setting spray, nothing I did could make that foundation last. After a few hours, it would break up around my chin, my pore area. The second my skin started to get oily, it would just break apart and nothing would make that foundation last. But over this particular primer, it literally lasted all day. I was able to take those little oil absorbing sheets and just tap it in the areas whenever I would start to get a little bit oily, suck up the oil, but the foundation didn't move. Definitely an awesome product. This has become one of my absolute favorite primers. I've literally had to make myself stop using it and start using the other ones that I'm trying to get rid of because I've been enjoying it so much. The primer by itself, absolutely amazing. The setting spray by itself, this is a matte setting spray. It leaves a very nice finish to the skin, extends the wear of your foundation. Separately, they're amazing. Together, they are unbeatable. These products are only $1.88 each, but you can get them as a bundle, I think, for $3.88 on Shop Miss A. When you can get a product that performs as well as these do for such an inexpensive price, you can't beat that. Next, we have the Lunar Beauty Say What Foundation. I used this in the video that I did where I was showcasing brands that were owned by women, and some of the brands are also Black owned. Lunar Beauty is a woman-owned brand, and she's Black, so it's a woman Black-owned brand, which I absolutely love. And this foundation is so nice. It's not like your usual straight matte formula. It's kind of a satin matte finish. It sets down so nicely and it looks like you're not wearing any makeup at all. It just looks like your skin. And I actually did a pretty good job with this particular shade match. This is the Honey, I think it says 13W. This blended right into my skin and just looks so natural and so flawless, and it lasted for hours. I didn't really have to touch up much when I used this one. This foundation is definitely a win. It's $39. I picked it up during the 21 Days of Beauty for Ulta. I've been wanting to try for the longest time, and so it was part of their 50% off sale that they were having, so I decided to go ahead and grab it. Even at $39, this foundation is worth the price. I'm definitely going to try to grab the concealer and the powder and some of the other products to try out, but I did absolutely love this foundation. Then we have the Flour Baking Setting Powder from Bakerie. This one I also used in that video showcasing brands owned by a woman. The owner of this brand is Black and she's a woman, so it's a woman Black-owned brand, which I absolutely love. I've been wanting to try the flour setting powder and the foundation for a while. I still haven't a chance to try the foundation, but I picked up the flour during that 50% off 21 Days of Beauty, the same time that I picked up the Lunar Beauty foundation. And this setting powder is amazing. It goes on and instantly blurs the skin and melts right into your foundation. You don't look like you're wearing powder. Like it does not set into a powdery finish on your skin. It just goes right into the skin and just leaves this very soft, finish. I am absolutely enjoying this particular formula. Now I have a blush and a couple of face palettes to talk about. This is the Malibu Glitz blush. I used this in that Shop Miss A video, the same video that I used that setting spray and that primer in, and I absolutely loved it. First of all, this was $1. This packaging has got some weight on it. This is not like super cheap packaging. It has a very nice mirror on the inside. And the most important thing is this beautiful flower that's embroidered into the blush. Did I say embroidered? I mean embossed into the blush. But it's just absolutely gorgeous. This was, I think, one of 2 shades that was still available the last time I checked. The rest of them were sold out. As soon as they come back in stock, I am definitely going back on the website and ordering more. But this kind of a magenta brick red kind of a shade is just so beautiful. It looks like it's matte in the compact, but when you put it on, it's this very deep, rich magenta, rosy type of glow to the skin. It just looks very, very healthy. It's pigmented, but not too pigmented, and it lasted all day long. I have some blushes that are more expensive that kind of fade. This one lasted all day long. Like I said, as soon as they get the other shades in stock, I am definitely going to be picking them up. Then we have the Zoeva Spice of Life highlighting palette. This one and the eyeshadow palette that I'm also going to talk about in this video were also part of the sale. The 50% off 21 Days of Beauty, where I got the foundation from Lunar Beauty and the setting powder from Beauty Bakerie. I also picked up this highlighting palette and the eyeshadow palette. But this is exactly as it says. It's just very spicy. I thought this would be really pretty for fall. This has kind of a peachy, orangey undertone to it. It's not matte. It's luminescent. When you look at the palette, you can see kind of a pinky, kind of a duochrome going in to the actual shade itself, and it looks like there's some glitters to it, but when you actually put it on the face, there's no glitter at all. It's just a very healthy, luminescent, rosy glow to the skin with that rosy orangey kind of a tone going on. And then you have this highlighter, which is kind of a champagne gold. This goes on the skin, very wet looking, leaves a very healthy shine to the skin. It doesn't look like you have like a bright highlighter on your face. It just looks very luminescent. I definitely want to pick up some more of the Zoeva palettes. The only thing about me though, as you guys know, I tend to pull from singles. I don't really pull from palettes very often. So as much as I love this one, I probably have to like remind myself to pull it, but the formula is absolutely gorgeous. Then we have the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Blush Palette. This came out, I think 2 or 3 months ago, and it sold out in its initial launch, so I had to wait until the restock, and oh my god, it was worth the wait. First of all, this packaging. This has got weight on it. This is not cheap. It's very Sailor Moon, the aesthetic. That's what it reminds me of. Manny loves Sailor Moon, and it's very evident in his packaging and in the designs that he puts on. This is 3D. It's not flat. The finish feels so nice. That's what it looks like close up. Oh my god, it's just so ethereal, so celestial, just absolutely beautiful. All the thought that went into designing just the packaging alone. If you don't know, Lunar Beauty is owned by Manny MUA. It's funny because the first time I ever saw his name, I said Manny Mua. I thought Mua was his last name. I didn't realize that it stood for makeup artist. But apparently I'm not the only person that thought that. Apparently there's a lot of people that thought his last name was Mua. But this is what the color story looks like on the inside. I will tell you, a couple of these shades, it's a very luminescent, very ethereal, celestial look to the cheek. You do have to build it up a little bit. I've seen these on deeper skin tones and it looked really, really beautiful, but you do have to kind of build it up. What I did for some of the shades, like this one right here, which is called Pink Moon. This one was a little bit light on my skin, but I just took it and I mixed it with Spacey up here just a little bit, and I got the perfect pink. So you can mix and match the shades in here alone. They're absolutely beautiful. This shade right here, which is called Soleil. This is a shimmer formula, kind of a shimmer luminescent formula. The rest of the blushes in the palette are matte finishes. It is so beautiful. Instead of using this as a blush, I've used it as a highlighter, and it works perfectly for that on my skin tone. I put on my blush, I take it and I just put it on the high points in my cheek, and it's just beautiful celestial, ethereal, pinky toned highlighter to my skin. This is the first product that I have picked up from Lunar Beauty. I've been wanting to try the eyeshadow palettes, especially the Moonspell one, which he launched last Halloween. Hopefully, and hopefully soon, I'll be able to try some more products from his brand. I have a few eyeshadow palettes that I want to talk about next. The first one is the Zoeva Spice of Life palette. This one actually goes along with that highlighting palette that I just talked about. I picked this one up particularly because it's spicy, warm toned. I thought it would be beautiful for fall, autumn, and it absolutely was. Every shade that I use in this palette blended perfectly. It blended like butter, toasty, warm, beautiful autumn vibes. This shade right here, it's funny, it's called The Flavor. I'm sure you can see it too, that when you look in the palette from like this angle, it looks like it's a beautiful sagey green. So I was very, very excited about that. But on, it's actually a warm brown, kind of a walnut shade. It's not green, but it's absolutely beautiful. Every single shade in this palette is just so gorgeous. I'm definitely looking forward to, in the future, picking up some more of the Zoeva palettes. Zoeva is owned by a woman. She's of German descent. I will drop links for everything that I can find that I'm using in the video. I think everything I'm using has a link, so that shouldn't be an issue, but I'll drop all the information down in my description box so that you can go and you can check everything out. Next, we have the Amuse Love x4 eyeshadow palette. This one came from Shop Miss A. This is the Amuse brand from Shop Miss A. I waited so long for this to come back into stock. Packaging, absolutely beautiful and on point. It has a very nice mirror on the inside. This one is a metallic palette. There are no mattes in here. This is one of the most beautiful metallic formulas that I own. And mind you, this was only $1. This shade right here, which is like this very pretty purpley shade. You see that? How wet and metallic that is? Just absolutely gorgeous. This one right here, which is like kind of a champagne gold. This is the one that I used as my inner corner highlight. It's just wet and beautiful. This gold here, oh my word. So absolutely beautiful. Every single shade in this palette is gorgeous. There's so much pigment. I took this one right here, used it on my eyelid. It took very little product and it was so pigmented, so bright, so shiny. And like I said, this is only $1. It's like your perfect little travel metallic palette. This one was definitely worth the wait for the restock. It was worth every single penny I paid for it, which was literally $1. The last palette that we have to talk about is the Nomad by Juvia's Place. I've only used this once, and that was in the video that I shot right before this one where I put this look together, but I loved this palette so much. Usually I will test something out a little bit more before I decide to use it or to talk about it in a favorite videos, but you guys, just from using this the first time, I absolutely loved everything about it. The packaging, oh my god, it's so beautiful. And this color story is beautiful. Grungy greens, military greens, the olive tones, the beautiful mustardy yellows and mustardy browns in here. The pigment in this palette, so nice. It blended like butter. I was able to put together this beautiful grungy fall autumn themed look with this palette. I loved everything about it. The only other palette that I have that has shades that are similar to this one is that Raw Beauty Christie X Pure palette. Other than that, none of my other palettes have these particular tones in it. I have been wanting to pick this one up for a while, so when I saw it on sale as part of the Juvia's Place Labor Day sale, I went ahead and picked it up. I think this was like 60% off, so I paid so little for it. Oh my god, it was so good. The formulas, the color story, everything about this palette, absolutely amazing. I have one more beauty fave, and then I have a couple of fails that just didn't really work for me. This one is from Colourpop. This is one of these Super Shock shadows. It's called In Harmony. I think this was part of that Sunflower collection. This is literally the only thing that I bought from that collection. The rest of it just didn't really appeal to me. But this formula is so smooth. It's so buttery. If you've never used a Super Shock formula before, it's kind of hard to explain. It's not a cream. It's a powder formula, but it feels very wet and smooth. And it's, as you can see, that very, very shiny. And this particular shade, it is your absolutely perfect, shiny, metallic gold. It looks so slick and icy. Well, not icy, wet and metallic on your eyelid when you put it on. I use this just right all over the eyelid, and it is just absolutely beautiful. Now for our fails. I have two of them. I have a lip product and a cheek product. This is from Santee. It is the matte liquid lipstick. There is no shade. It's just called number 3. I also use this in that full face of Shop Miss A video that I recently did. In the video, it dried down, very kiss proof, very transfer proof, but it was very patchy and I didn't like the finish, but I wanted to give it a shot, make sure that I give it its best shot before I decided to say it didn't work for me. So I used it again. I exfoliated my lips. I put on a lip balm. I let that set down so everything was nice and smooth. And then I applied the liquid lipstick again, but I got the same results. Very patchy, didn't go on smooth at all. Same transfer resistance that I got before, which I really like, but it's just cakey and patchy, and I just didn't like the way that the actual finish of it just wasn't nice. If this particular lipstick formula was smooth and opaque the way that I wanted, this would be the ultimate formula because like I said, it is transfer proof. Once it actually dries down, it doesn't move and it stays that way for hours. So if it just looked more smooth and more opaque on the lips, this would really be a fantastic lip product. My last fail is the Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush. This was in Cheeky Coral, number 130. Now, it may not be the formula. It may just be this particular shade. This is the only one that I currently own. I got it, obviously, because of the beautiful peachy coral on this. And you guys know I've been wanting to get into more liquid and cream blush and highlight products. So I wanted to give this one a try. And when you look at it, and you first take it out the tube, you put it on, it looks like it's going to be, pretty decently pigmented, that it might blend out pretty well. But once I actually put it on my cheek and I started to blend it out, now it did blend well over powder and foundation. It didn't lift the foundation and powder underneath it, but there was no pigment. I would put it on and it would pretty much blend away. And I built it up like 3 or 4 times. I would just try to build it up, and no matter what I did, no pigment, just blended away. And that was disappointing. And like I said, it could just be the shade itself. It might not be any of the other shades. The other shades may work just fine. If you guys have actually used this formula and you have it in some of the other shades, let me know what you thought about them. I'm wanting to try some of the other shades, but because this was $10, I'm a little bit hesitant. But if you have used this particular formula in some of the other shades and it did give you pigment and it did work for you, definitely let me know. I might go ahead and pick some more up. That was my beauty faves and misses for the month of September 2020. I had a pretty good amount of products in here. I'm still testing out some other products. Like I picked up a couple of skincare products I'm testing out. I don't like to talk about skincare until I've at least used them for at least a month, maybe even 2, to make sure of the results I'm getting before I discuss those. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you hit subscribe and join my little family. And if you would like to be notified of any videos that may be coming up in the future, just be sure to tap the notification bell down below. You'll be notified each and every time. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.